All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the finale race of the Drivers Room Acelith Design Endurance Championship. I am your commentator and the host for this stream tonight, Kimaru. And yeah, Season 3, Round 8, Tier 1 finale. And yeah, we're gonna do the race brief, and we have a guest with us tonight, and we're gonna introduce him in a short bit. Hey there, Dennis. Um, let's see. Yeah, for the 90 minutes final race of the season and the year, the series visits the Lassard Circuit or Le Mans in the original no chicane layout, which is the Mulsanne Straight. And yeah, we will not have chicanes here today in the Group 1s. And as you can see in the background, the Group 1 is in the picture. This will mean that the cars will have a this will mean that the cars with a good top end are likely to go well here. And the teams have been out on track with the radar guns checking the maximum speeds of the various cars. And yeah, it may be depending on how much downforce the teams will use, but the preliminaries are as follows. The Vision GT Bugatti can reach a speed of, in the metric system, 329 kilometers an hour. The 919 Porsche 332, which is bloody fast for a hybrid. The Toyota GR10 332 at par with the Porsche. The Mazda Vision GT or LM55 352, and the crazy 787B, which we might not see tonight, can reach almost 400 kilometers an hour with a deficit of 10 kilometers. So not much, not a long way up to 400 kilometers there, but damn, yeah, fast cars. So whether the car teams are running with minimum downforce is another thing. Cars with more downforce will benefit greatly through the Porsche curves, and will also get, if we get any wet running, it will definitely change things up. The race will probably be mainly dry here, and we expect a 28-29 lap race, but could be a lap or two shorter if the heavens open up, of course. And a no fuel pit stop here is on the side of 28 seconds. So, yeah, changing from slicks to wets and vice versa will be crucial in the race. In the terms of the championship, Cartman is out of the last round, and the fact that he can't race tonight means that Blue has already secured the Season 3 crown. So, congratulations to Blue for being the champion again. And yeah, before the race even started, so he's the champion. Even with the DNF for him and max points for Flappy, it would not be enough to overturn the 60 points lead once the drop scores are taken into account. And likewise, Flappy has also secured the annual GR1 crown, so at least there will be a big battle for the runners-up spot with, sorry for breaking my voice here, runners-up spot with Blue, Mickey, Gadget, Vlave, and Senna, all in the mathematical chance of getting the silver medal. So yeah, that is pretty much it for the final brief of the year. And now to introduce my guest commentator for tonight. He is a 12-time champion of ADEC or slash DREC, ADEC. And he has 3 annual titles and probably a few more category titles over the years. But let me introduce you all to a very great guy and one I've looked up to a lot during my racing in ADEC, Pluxtheduck.
Hello all. Hello Kim. Good to be
Hello.
here once again in the commentary booth
Yeah,
since my retirement from ADEC as a driver, and it should be a good one tonight.
yeah,
It's a combination that we've not had in the series in this format before. I think we have raced potentially at Le Mans with no chicanes in a different category, and we've definitely raced at Le Mans in with the chicanes on the circuit. However, this will be an interesting race. Since I've been away, there's been a few new hotshots coming during the series as well, and of course we've had some new people win the title. So that once again shows just how competitive this series always is. Of course, going into tonight, we know that obviously Blue's won his second title. He joins a very short list of drivers with two titles. I believe that comes down to Jag, I think Jack Balding, and myself, and I think that's pretty much it. I think there's four of us now. So yeah, I mean, congratulations to Blue. From what I've seen from the results, you know, he's really stepped it up in the second half of this season. Of course, Flappy and Cartman have pushed him hard, and of course, Cartman's unfortunate retirement from last season, no, not last season, last race, kind of secured that title.
yeah,
But definitely a great season from Blue. From everyone else, you know, it's as always great to see the competitive spirit within the series, but also how clean it is. And obviously, we're moving back to having two tiers going into next year. So that's fabulous news for the series. Again, despite the post-pandemic kind of shrinkage of racing in total for sim racing, it's great to see the series still putting in new numbers. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to watching that in the new year.
yeah. I'll say this: I've been shocked about the attendance of ADEC now for the past last two seasons. New people have shown up, and they are. Yeah, it's been a very competitive year for sure in ADEC, and yeah, like you said, Blue has really stepped it up in the last part of the season and clinched the title. So good on him.
Yep, and like I said, you know, it's going to be great to see everyone, you know, having that finale here at Le Mans in the Group 1 category. Of course, we've got a mixture of kind of the older generation LMP cars and also the VGT cars. I know it's possible that we may have a couple of the Group C cars, but I am hearing that, unfortunately, due to unsurprising reliability issues with such old machines, they may not get either of those cars running out on track today, which would be a shame, being that they would be probably the favourites for pole, but it is always difficult to get those old monsters running.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hopeful to Muller's car because though it's a very what you say a car that doesn't really suit um, tight corners and slow corners, it should hopefully suit this track with the long straight, the Mulsanne, and
Yeah,
maybe we'll
it
see
should
him.
be able to at least do okay against the prototypes. It usually struggles against them because it's so down on downforce compared to them. But
Hmm.
as you said, you know, it possibly be a bit closer here, just given the fact that it's not so much of a downforce track. They'll be able to put that car in a downforce range that might be similar to what the LMPs are going to be running, because the LMPs, being the slowest in straight line, are probably the most likely cars to be running lightest on downforce. I'd expect to see possibly the LM55s not running minimal downforce because they've got a bit more speed advantage, just innately built into them. They may run a little bit of a higher downforce level, and if the Group Cs do get running, they obviously have got the best potential to run a higher downforce. Yes, they're going to sacrifice their ultimate top speed, but okay, say they can't get to 240 miles an hour, so 385, 390 kph. You know, you're going to still be in that range of maybe, you know, 380 or 375. You know, in that 230 miles an hour range, which is still quicker than anything else, but you can gain significantly more speed through the Porsche curves, and that's really the challenge of this track in this format. Is you've got such a long straight that you want to use that top speed, but you don't want to compromise yourself fully through the Porsche curves and the Ford chicanes.
Let's see. What car is Mr. Grimm in? I think the voice, the original voice of the driver's room, will probably be very happy for a Tier 2 next year. He has said he's been struggling a lot this year with, you know, how competitive Tier 1 is and how fast the drivers are. So getting someone to his level could possibly make it more fun in Tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, Grimm's always been a stalwart of this series. Of course, he's won a race in Tier 2. He's got, you know, bags of experience, but he doesn't always have the time to put the practice in to be up there with the very front. But he has done a remarkable job, you know, all this time in Tier 1. You know, it's not a situation that usually naturally fits him, but he's done a bang-up job plugging away at it and staying in the series throughout. And like I say, Tier 2 will probably be where he feels more comfortable. But I would hope that if he does, you know, get a chance to be re-promoted into Tier 1, that he does take it and take that challenge on. And you know, whenever anyone has a chance for promotion, I do genuinely believe you should move up to Tier 1 to try and better your skills. And even if you do end up back in Tier 2 after a season in Tier 1, it's still worth the learning curve. You know, there's inherent differences now between Tier 2 and Tier 1, between the damage rating and the tuning enabling. So you have that opportunity to learn something whenever you join ADEC with 2 tiers. As Tier 1 is always going to have a different challenge, plus the fact you're going to be fighting against that top tier level of driver. So yeah, absolutely, Grimm is going to be moving into that Tier 2, but you know, I wish him absolutely the best in there. I know he always brings his best, and it's fabulous to see him racing again. I know there was a big period where he couldn't race, so it's always great to see him out there on track.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say this for Gadget for the past 2 or 3 seasons now. I feel like he's gotten his speed up a little bit again after he swapped over to VR, and he's driving every single race in VR. And I know it's been difficult out there for him as well, but yeah, he has definitely gotten faster throughout the year and gotten back to his speed, hopefully back to his proper speed that he had pre-VR and all that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gadget's a one-time season champion, multiple race winner. I think he's even won a class title, and a class annual title, in his many years of racing and running the series. Always a threat in a difficult race. Bags of experience across multiple titles. You know, as a person who always understands and thinks from a very what's the word? He's a very cerebral racer, and always has got strategies up his sleeve of how best to make the race work. So yeah, absolutely, it's great to see Gadget back at his best. You know, he's fighting. In one way, the VR is great because it gives you an extra dimension of understanding the circuit, but obviously there is a deficit that you don't have as much information in front of you around what everyone else is doing in terms of driving. So him, and I believe Flappy as well, has got a similar, let's say, hinderment of having the VR, but also the advantage of being able to kind of position your head and really look into corner apexes. So yeah, absolutely. But like you say, it's great to see Gadget back at his best.
We are about ready to get the qualifier underway, so once we do, we're gonna have onboard footage with Mr. Gadget, and Plux will take us through a lap. Do it on the proper qualifying lap, maybe, and yeah. Here we go. Last qualifying of the year. So, what do you expect? What's your predictions for P1 in qualifier today, Plux?
Oh, I think we might have a qualifying something in the maybe 308, 309 range. I think if we'd had the Group C's running, they'd possibly get into that 304, 305 range. But I think we'll be sub 310 for definite in the VGT cars, or at least the LM55s. The not the Bentley, the Bugatti is going to be an interesting one, because I think that's a car that's actually very far down in terms of top speed, and it doesn't have the hybrid punch.
No.
So that car may struggle, which of course Senna is driving. So he may be a little bit further off, but if we do get to any rain, that car's going to come alive. It's got an innate four-wheel drive system. It's very good through the Porsche curves. It's got probably the highest lateral G possible, so it's got the best downforce. It's just whether or not that top speed deficit is going to be what's really going to cost him. So let's give us a good chance to first try and work out what everyone's kind of top speed rating is, how much downforce they're running. So let's take a little quick look.
I will say this too, we have another Ukrainian with us, Cartman, of course, being surprisingly fast in Season 2 when he joined. But the one nicknamed Paul, I've tried to say his name many a times, but I don't want to butcher it. Paul, or the other Ukrainian chap, I will say I am super impressed with him this season, and yeah, he has been there battling with the best of them, and may not have been in the top 3 places, but yeah, he's definitely done a good job of entertaining the viewers, I would say.
Yep, absolutely. It's always great to have more and more competitive people in the series. I'm loving the yellow and purple livery, and of course the 919 has been such a strong car all season that you know, it is finally at a track where it's not the best car. So it is nice to see a chance for something else to win, even if there is the swan song for the 919. Of course, next season we are seeing the 919 made being banned because it has just such a competitive advantage over everything else. So that's being made an illegal option. I believe the LM55 is also on its last run, and also the TSO50. I don't think anyone's running it today, but is also getting outlawed for next season.
From what I understand, all LMPs or hybrid machines are banned from next year, at least the LMP machines. So,
I think it's just those 3 cars. Oh, and the Hyundai VGT. I think it's just those 4 cars. I think the Audi R18 hybrid is still being allowed. And I believe the Toyota GR010 hypercar is still in. So I think it will come down to it was just those absolute top tip of the spear cars that are going to be taken out. But we are seeing the cars making their way around onto the start of their first laps. We've got Gadget just coming under the Dunlop Bridge now. I'm
going to switch over to him. Yeah, a little late there, but take us through a lap here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll join him on board from Tete Rouge. So 5th gear corner, maybe 6th if you're absolutely on the limit. As we now head down the Mulsanne Straight. Very, very long straight in this form. Of course, this is how it was originally. It's lovely to see a chance to see it in its full glory. We would obviously at this point now be thinking about braking down into the first chicane, but we blast on by this time, reaching up to 210, 37 kilometers an hour, just touching 338, 339 now in 8th gear. The advantage of the LM55 is it's got so many gears. There is for anyone interested, there's a pub on the right that you can go to during the Le Mans weekend. But we are now getting back to kind of concentrating a bit more through the Mulsanne kink. Flat out through there in all of these cars, no one will have a trouble. But in the rain, you may have to have a little lift if it gets torrential. Coming down now towards Mulsanne corner, you'll be braking just before the kink. Down, all the way down to 2nd gear. Oh, first gear even choosing there. And because of the four-wheel drive, he punches it out of the corners there as we head back down the shorter straight, the Indianapolis straight. I actually can't remember what the proper name for this is, but it is the back straight through the trees. And if everyone remembers, the Mercedes just after this bump here lifting off into the trees. Luckily no one's going to have that issue today as we head down into Indianapolis. Really difficult corner this, to get it down from such a high speed with the kink on the way in, and then punch it back up to the corner. Look for the brake board up there, you brake just before it into Arnage, and then power out of the corner as we head up towards the Porsche curves underneath the Porsche banner. As I said earlier, I had a chance earlier in the week to test some of these cars. Of course, Made for Racing famously ran quite a lot of Porsches in our time, and as we head through the Porsche curves, this is a bit of a car that can take quite a lot of speed through here, but the 919 is going to be quicker through this section. 6th gear as we get through the second part of the Porsche curves, down to 5th, keep the nose in. He's possibly touching 4th. All about getting the power on. Don't go too wide through there, or you will pick up a time penalty. And now we head down towards the Ford chicanes, and this is all about rhythm, it's all about flow. You want to get over those curbs nice and aggressively. Down to 3rd gear, and you want to brake now, throw it over the curb, take as much curb as you dare, punch it out of the corner, and that's going to be about 3:13, I think, for Gadget for an opening gambit, which is a little bit off where I thought the times might have been. But of course we've got to still burn off a bit of fuel, and of course he's seeing it in. So we're now going to go through the first corner, down to 2nd gear, don't lock up too much, underneath the Dunlop, through the Dunlop chicane, underneath the Dunlop tyres, we plunge down there. You don't really get the idea of the elevation here. This is a particularly difficult corner because of the camber. You've got to get it into that rut, otherwise you just have no grip. And we're back at Test Rouge again.
Yeah, that
as we
was
see Blue
a full
straight
lap.
away in those 309.8s. Of course, that
Try
Porsche
and,
is a bit feisty, and that's actually one thing I did want to say is because you're trying to maximise the hybrid system as much as possible in the 919, it's actually quite a tricky car to drive at those lower speeds because you want to punch it out the corners as hard as possible, but because you don't know exactly when the hybrid's going to kick in, you get a little bit of kind of tail waggle from the car, especially if you lift off. You've got to kind of ride through it whilst the LM55 with that natural four-wheel drive is just a little bit smoother. So let's see how much what pace are we going to get out of Blue here. So he's running quite a lot of wing, I think, with a 192 top speed. That's quite a long way off, but it's working for him in qualifying with 309.8, 3 seconds up on anybody else at this time.
Well, it's at least 30 kilometers an hour difference between Gadget and Blue down the straight, and
Yep.
yeah, he really has to show what he's got in the handling section of the track. And yeah, Mickey, I've seen your message and placed it in the chat. Let's hope Gadget actually sees it after the quali is done, so he can put you into the race. So let's see.
So behind Blue's original lap, we've got Gadget in P3, Vlave in P4 in the other Team Motion Blur car. You've got Paul in 5th, about a second and a bit back. He's only doing 183 down the Multisansa. He's running a lot of downforce. Wow, that's interesting.
Please explain to me and the viewers the downforce differences, because that always confuses me and I always forget.
In terms of the innate downforce to the car or the downforce levels?
The downforce they've tuned or set up the cars with, higher downforce meaning better handling, or?
Yep. So the more downforce you got, the more potential you've got for handling.
Okay.
So you'll be able to push the car into the road better. And these cars, being that, especially the prototypes, will be, pushing a couple of tons of downforce if they're fully loaded up. But obviously for Le Mans, you want to take a lot of downforce out to be able to get the top speed, as downforce does innately build drag because you're putting a great big wing in the way of the airflow. So it's great, you're working the air to get a load more fuel, load more grip, but you're basically turning your car into a barn door down the main straight. So, you know, Paul or Lenz has got to be careful there not to put himself in a position where, yeah, he's really fast through the Porsche curves, but he can't overtake anyone because they're just going to put their car in the middle of the road and then disappear off down the straight. So it's a bold call to go with so much downforce. I can see it paying off in the wet maybe, but you're going to have to be so careful, and you're going to have to just know that you're going to be at a disadvantage. One advantage he will have is the more downforce you have, the better tyre wear you have, because you're not going to be sliding as much. And actually, you're riding on board with Lenz. He's running the Porsche curves in 6th gear comfortably.
Yeah, and
so that car is
he didn't
viciously
let off
fast.
Once. He didn't let off
No.
once.
So that car's got all the grip, but it's got no straight line speed. So he's just coming onto his flying lap now after his out lap. He needs to take the chicanes a little bit more aggressively, try and straight line them a bit more to get a bit more speed through there. And you've got Müller, who's currently a little bit off the pace, about 4 seconds down from Lenz, 9 seconds off the full speed, but he has got a penalty, so we'll see in a couple of laps if he can build that up. Blue Racer isn't going out again. He's happy with that time of a 3:09.5, and to be fair, that was an excellent time.
Yeah, he did set an excellent time there. So maybe it will stand, but we'll see during the end. Is it 20 minutes of qualifying we have today? Or is it 15?
Yeah, I think it will be 20. It might be 15. I can't remember. 90-minute races always throw me, because I know normally we start a little bit earlier, so yeah, it may only be another 3 minutes. But Gadget is looking good in second place at the moment. He is currently up on the best time, but will he be able to hold that advantage through the Porsche curves? And this is really going to show it, actually. He's currently a couple of seconds purple at the moment because of the straights. It's all going to come down to how well can he get through here, because the 919 is so fast through here. You know, back when we did this track, see, he's already lost 2 seconds just by not being able to get out the corners as quickly and not being able to run as much downforce.
It seems like he's struggling a little bit through the Porsche curves. That he has to lift off heavily.
Yeah, quite heavily. I mean, I happen to know that the TMB setup is pretty low on the downforce level. They are trying to maximise that speed because they know even in the wet they're going to have an innate advantage with the four-wheel drive system. But that is going to be another 311, I think. Nope, just into the 312s. Wow. So he just didn't quite get as good a run.
Well, the defending champion has gotten a lot of competition this season, Flappy, and yeah, he's. I would say he's not been too lucky this season. He has had maybe 1 or 2 wins, and he sets his personal best of the quali with a 3:10.9. So second for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Flappy's always gonna go well in qualifying in the 919. You're gonna see the cars with the top speed advantage have more of an advantage late in the race itself, because they can get past at the start and then just block basically. That's what they'll be going for. They'll also, I believe, the LM55's got a lot better tyre life than the 91. Not tyre life, sorry, fuel. A bigger fuel tank than the 919 does. So it is gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. And actually, looking through the field, it's pretty tight if you ignore blue. You're looking at not a huge gap between all of these drivers. It's just blue with that strong start.
Muller still has a half-second penalty, so he's not been able to shake his bad luck through the circuit so far, and still 10th.
Yeah, I would assume that's probably coming out of Test Rouge. Probably run a little bit wide and just picked up that half-second penalty.
And another guy I would say I'm very impressed with so far this season. Ivano has definitely improved a lot since his initial entry into ADEC. In the beginning, there was a lot of, I would say, rage quits. didn't finish the race, and this season he may not have been, far up the field, but he's finished the races. He's finished strong. He's done an amazing job in the races he's been in. Had a few decent fights with people, and yeah, definitely one to watch in the future as well. So hope he stays.
Yeah, Ivano's done good work. I mean, he's always looking like he's improving. You know, I remember Ivano's start to drive in driver's room, and he always felt a little bit not confident in himself. But he's through. I know he works in the Wrecking Ball racing team, and they've worked really well as a whole unit to kind of bring each other forward. So it is great to see Ivano's improvement. I hope he stays in the top tier, because he's doing a fabulous job, and really trying to get that LM55 around the track as best as possible. And this shows so well how each of the cars make their speed, because he's purple right now, and yet he's not going to get pole, because he's going to lose probably 2 to 3 seconds just through this part of the track, because he cannot take the same level of speed. So he's 1.2 seconds up on himself, but he's already lost that purple time. Flappy almost manages to get to the 309s, by the way, down to 310. Oh, Ivano catches it. That was a good catch. Would have lost a bit of time, but manages to keep it on the circuit, and most importantly not pick up a penalty. Backers up to 311.8, so just behind Gadget. And Gadget is going to be the danger man at the start, I think, because it's a standing start. The LM55 gets off the line really well, but the 919 will come back at it with the punch. That's a great improvement there by Ivano, up to P6. Anyone else still running? We've got H-Boss still running in the Red Dragon car. Does he improve? Not quite enough. 4/10 off. There's a real mix at the moment, and of course we are going to have to wait for Mickey to be able to join as well.
Yeah. Well, with the qualifying officially over for now, and we have to wait for the grid to be manually set, I urge everyone to grab yourselves a drink, visit the toilet, and we will be ready to race in a few minutes. So I'm
going to partake in that as well. I'm going to fill up my water bottle, ready for this 90 minutes of action.
Yeah, I'll be back. Alright, I am back in action here. Just gonna... Okay. Ow. Dun, 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 dun. I kind of like the that you can wait to start the race after the quali, so everyone can have a break and get ready for the race ahead. That is a good thing with the qualifier mode in GT, I feel.
Yes, I agree. I do like the fact that you now can pause and wait to make sure everyone's in a good place.
Now, if PD just listened to its player base a little bit more, probably PD wouldn't get so much hate, especially from me.
Wow, you'd never, you'd never ever have a cross word to say about our glorious overlords.
Well, we just gotta wait for Gadget to set the grid, get everyone back on track, and yeah, Mickey needs to place his car on track as well. Yeah, I know I ask too much, Dennis, from PD. I know.
Well, you never know. They'll bring some stuff. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
So it'll all be good. Hi everyone in the chat, by the way. Long time no speak. Hope you're all doing well. Looking forward to the holiday season. And yeah, I hope everyone's good. Looking forward to the race. I hope you guys can stay with us for most, if not all, of the 90 minutes. We will be running time simulation on 16, so we will get a full day-night cycle as well. Which means we could end up with some wet weather in the dark. Which just adds more scariness to it.
That would terrify the living hell out of me. I think there's a career mode race in GT where you simulate the 24-hour of this and you get some rain in the dark, don't you?
I believe so.
One of the missions or something, the 24-minute thing.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Dennis says congrats with P2 last Saturday. So that's ACC, I would assume.
Yep. That was the AOR endurance league. So it's endurance series team series. So you have driver swaps. Both drivers room and made for racing have a car entered. Both teams are in the silver class. And Made for Racing got second. Drivers Room got their first win of the season.
Nice.
In class. So congrats to those guys. They got a really good run through in the wet weather. They just didn't put a foot wrong. Had a great strategy as well. A similar strategy to what we were on. That really paid off for them, but they just had a great run at the start of the wet weather. They came so close to being taken out by a BMW that chanced it on dry tyres in the wet and hit a patch of rain. And as they came past this struggling BMW, it lit up its rear tyres and span into the pit wall. And Dennis must have been inches from being caught by the front of the nose. He got very lucky there, but then didn't put a foot on, drove a double stint. And Lol Power finished them off with just bringing it home. So yeah, absolutely fantastic work by the Drivers Room team. For us, we had a unfortunate qualifying session, which put us near the back. We again, like the Drivers Room team, we made it through the whole of the wet period without any issues, but we were just a bit further back. And then we had a difficult stint in the wet dry. As the track was coming back in, the car didn't particularly enjoy the green conditions. that as we got back to fast, and I think we got to optimal conditions by the end. We did start to reel low power in at the end, but the gap was too big, and the drivers' team deserved to win it in silver. And I think the seventh and eighth overall, unlike the previous round at Bathurst where we saw a lot of the pro class having issues, we didn't have as much of that from the pros, so there wasn't any finishing in the P4 P5 sort of range that we got the race before.
Alright, the new guy definitely needs to leave because this is, yeah, private lobby. This is probably the most negative thing I have to say about GT7 is that friends,
He's gone.
yeah, friends can join, and it's not like it was in GT Sport where you had to be friends with the host. So that is one of the negatives I have to say about GT7. But yeah, 2-minute break now, and we should be ready to start the adventure of the 90-minute finale. So, who do you think will run away with the win tonight? Will it be our fearless blue man, Flappy, maybe even Gadget and Ivan? Or, yeah.
I think it will come down to when the rain comes. I think the LM55 will be stronger in the wet weather than the 919, just given the fact that the 919 can be a bit tricky to drive in the wet conditions, because you've got to balance the hybrid coming on and off, and you can get quite a lot of... Oh no.
These people need to realize that private means private, and they should not join.
Yes. It's a little unfortunate.
I've seen Shevchenko before, and he races in the league that Paul live comms. So hey Gary, good evening. Yeah, Shevchenko definitely needs to, unless he wants to spectate, he's free to do. No, okay.
Oh, Gary arrived 5 minutes ago. Ah, that's unfortunate. He won't be able to race.
Yeah. Well, Gary's been struggling this season, but yeah, the tuning aspect is difficult to get used to. I'll say that. The Autobahn is always free when you drive in the front of traffic jam. Yeah. Depends if he was in the front of the traffic jam though. 80 super fast.
Yeah, it's interesting that the time obviously has continued round, with the lobby being reset, and therefore we may get an interesting start time as well.
Yeah. I was faster than Google Maps, if that says anything. Okay. All right. Good luck to all the drivers, and have a good final race of the season.
Yep, absolutely.
And the air, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's also Blue's last race for at least a season. He's taking a season off after this. So we may have a new champion next season. Maybe Cartman can finally have enough good luck to make a championship run.
Yeah, he got, like I said last week as a joke, he got Putined. All of the Ukrainian drivers got Putined. So let's hope nothing of that nature happens tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we are in the daylight, so it was just a free practice. All right, here we go.
Right then.
5 red lights to go dark, and the final race of the season is underway. Here we are, and it seems like a good start from Gadget in the LM55. And
but here come the 919s.
Oh,
They're coming back at them. And
oh my goodness!
it's
Wow.
just long enough. Is there going to be any carnage? No, they've all kept it clean. Flappy trying to go back at Blue. Now we're going to probably see who's got more downforce and who's got more straight line speed between these two. They're going to run away through the first part of this first sector. But there's the... Oh, you saw the dirty air effect on Flappy. I'm willing to bet Flappy's got less front downforce than Blue. But here we go. What has Blue got in terms of straight line speed? Vlave has kept her... Gadget has dropped a long way back. Hasn't got any damage, so just got caught out early on. And H-Boss in... And
oh, and Lens has disconnected.
Oh, that's gutting. Here comes Flappy though, he's got the speed, but here comes Vlave at 2:13, riding on board with...
Oh my god! Almost hitting the barrier!
And as I thought, here comes Gadget. Can he get himself back into this race? He's got 2 seconds to try and catch, but he is dropping that time quickly. And this is going to be really the story of the race, in my opinion.
And we see the Red Dragon brothers are side by side as well, in front of a lot of anger. Oh my god!
Ivano!
We're gonna take a look back at that with Ivano
What
shortly.
happened there?
I don't know. I think he hit the open barrier.
That was mad. He just kind of came in and just slid across. Did he take anyone else with him? He took Muller's front end off. But I think everyone else got away scot-free. Vlave still in the lead. Flappy right up behind him. Can Gadget close down Blue?
Well, this is one of the smaller straights as well, and it shouldn't be that big of a problem for Gadget as we see him going over to take 3rd place. But definitely, this is where the LMPs are going to be dangerous.
Vlave's defending it. Oh, Naj is not a corner that's easy to defend, but Blue sends it back down the inside as well. Using the punch out of the corner, he got away with that, because if he would have been stuck behind the LM55s coming to the Porsche curves, he'd lose a lot of time. He's going to gain massively through this sector. And again, you can see Bacchus is caught up onto the back of Gadget. This is going to be a fascinating first few laps. We saw this back in 2021, that if a 919 got stuck behind an LM55, they were done for. This time round, because we've got tuning enabled, it's a little bit different. These 919s have trimmed out their wings a bit, and that just gives them a chance to fight a bit more. They can get on the power a little bit better. Here comes Blue, but he can't quite make it happen before the 4 chicanes. And it's going to be Vlave. There's a penalty there for Blue. And it is Flappy having a big slide out of that final corner, trying to get on the power. Blue is going to slide it down the inside, of course, using the hybrid power. Bacchus has made it up into P4, and H-Boss is past Gadget. Gadget falling down those positions again, and he's probably not going to be able to catch him. Senna, by the way, quietly in 7th position and doing a bang-up job.
Yeah. What do you think about the Bugatti in the terms of fuel tires? Might he be one of the longer running on track before a pit stop, or?
Yeah, quite possibly so. The Bugatti, if I remember correctly, has got a pretty big fuel tank, and it'll be okay on tyres. No, actually, no, it's terrible on tyres compared to compared to Gadget. I am talking rubbish, and it isn't any better on fuel. Actually, it's worse than the LM55. So it's going to drink fuel and burn tyres. Is what it's going to do, at least on the softs.
Well,
here comes Flave again. And again, look how much Blue's high downforce setup is costing him down the straights. He's lost so much time to Flappy. Flappy able to get into that 200-mile-an-hour range is really working for him.
Yeah, almost 330 kilometers an hour for Flappy. That's, yeah, he's got a pretty decent top speed there, but not enough for Vlave as he goes to first.
Gadget back up to P4. What's Senna doing? 200. That's not bad, actually. 200 from HBoss, 200 from Bacchus, 216 for the... And Gadget's got back to P3 from Blue. That is crazy. He's managed to do it again. We are going to see this quite a few times as well. But Blue will now get him on the exit.
The punch out of slow turns for the LMPs is just nuts to see. Yeah. Never ceases to surprise me or amaze me.
And Bacchus has gone with him. Bacchus is past Blue as well. Bacchus sitting in that draft, and he's making it work for him. And Blue's going to have a penalty now, so he's going to not have the chance probably to get these guys before into the Porsche curbs this time. And Bacchus goes around the outside through Onage. That is not an overtaking place. And Bacchus is quietly here, looking very good. Vlave, of course, loses the position to Flappy again. And this time, but he's a bit closer than he was the lap before. So he may be able to kind of keep using this as an opportunity to try and get on the back of Flappy earlier and earlier into the lap. And have more of the Mulsanne to try and pull away. But he's got to be careful through this part of the track. Vlave has come on leaps and bounds over the last year or so. And really has, in the right situations, got a really, really quick car to make this work. He's going to have to make sure he gets a good run through the Ford chicanes. Oh, don't get a penalty though, buddy.
Yeah, these last chicanes are so deceptive of how much curb you can actually take, and give you a penalty. Bacchus now with the fastest lap of the race.
Well, I'm not surprised. He got a huge draft all the way up the second, all the way through the second half of the Mulsanne and the. But that's going to be an off track. That's going to be a penalty for Bacchus, I think. He ran really wide. He didn't actually gain anything, but he gets a 1 second penalty. That's gutting.
See Miller into
Flappy
the pits.
at this point. Right, yeah, Miller into the pits, off the medium tyres to get rid of that damage. Okay, can Flappy run away?
Well, he's got a 2.5 second gap, but I think Ivan will close in a lot on the straight, but will it be enough?
Blue has also burnt up his tyres a little bit more than Bacchus, but Blue cannot overtake. He can't do it. He pulls out the slip. Oh, he's trying to bump him along. That's a little bit cheeky. I'm not sure if bump drafting is something that is a...
Bump drafting, technically, from what I understand in the rulebook, is not legal anymore in ADEC, so he should be careful. He should be
careful.
Really
do
careful.
It once, you get away with it probably. But doing it multiple times, we're having looked back at the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. And Gadget has really fallen off this lap. I think he must have had a bad run through the Porsche curves. He lost a lot of time and he is nowhere near Blue and Bacchus. Vlave hasn't caught Flappy down the straight, and this is Flappy's best chance to make a break for it, because he hasn't been overtaken before the before Mulsanne corner. So I think Flappy's now got the best chance he'll probably ever have to get away. This is not as long a straight, and he won't get caught, and that's a huge game changer. As you can see, Blue now still trying to get past. Of course, he'll get the position for free now because of Bacchus' penalty. But that's made a huge difference. He will not probably be able to gain enough time to get past before the Mulsanne. And that's the problem here, is if you get behind in a Porsche against a car that's much faster than you in a straight line, you are going to struggle to get past these Mazdas, because you're not going to be able to get yourself into the clean air at your fastest points on the track. Yes, Blue is now probably going to catch all of this 1.8 second gap up before the Mulsanne, but will he get past? Probably not. and then you get to the Mulsanne and he can do nothing.
Yeah. Well, he's catching
Flappy's
up.
wide. Flappy's wide. Will that be a penalty for Flappy? I think he might have just about got away with that. Yep, he just about gets away with it. Flappy is not as far ahead this lap as I thought he would be, and I said Blue would be all the way up with him. He actually might get the position now.
Oh,
no, he's not.
he's gone to the gravel.
And that's going to give Bacchus the chance to get past him. Bacchus dumping all the battery. He has burnt his entire battery. Wow, I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think that was even possible to manage in the Porsche anymore, but he's managed it. But he's deployed the whole lot up back into third place. But here, and this is the problem with deploying your whole battery, is he's got nothing to fight with, and Blue's got half a tank of battery. So something about Bacchus's style, I don't know, maybe he's not using a brake bias in the +3, +5 position, and he's not gaining as much battery back. The more rearward you have your brake bias, the more energy recovery you get, and the less you wear your front tyres, because you are not using them as much. And being that, of course, we know the 919 historically has always had issues with front tyre wear when deploying the hybrid system, because it jumps all of that energy into the system so aggressively that it spins up those front tyres. Now, it's not as bad as it was in the previous in GT Sport. It's nowhere near as aggressive, but it is still aggressive as we're starting to see the sun come down low. Skies are looking pretty clear, but Flappy is still 2 seconds ahead. Flav is closing him, but it's only 7 miles an hour difference. It is not as big a difference as maybe we would have expected.
Flappy has a good setup for his 919, but then again, we're coming through this turn now, and Flappy's going to have a hybrid to just punch out. That's
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a full hybrid tank, as does Bacchus. So, and this is the thing, that straight is so long and the Porsche recovers so well while it's at full throttle, that even though he is using more hybrid in certain places than Blue is, he's getting all of that hybrid back, and it's not costing him too much at the end of the lap.
Well, since we got a stable positioning now, we're gonna just take a quick look back at Ivano and see what the hell transpired in lap 1.
Yep. And while you're loading that up, I'm just going to mention that Senna's in P6.
Woohoo! Gotti's doing well.
Let's take a look here. So we're heading down towards Mulsanne Pink.
Oh!
That is just catching that inside barrier really was not good.
So Ivano's definitely been into the pits since he's fixed his damage, but yeah, that was aggressive.
Yeah, I think it was just mistimed. He wasn't trying to do anything mad. He just got caught out by it.
Yeah. And I think Mickey. Mickey spinning it, almost turning completely around there. But
that is...
Mickey's very far behind. And he's spinning again. Whoa!
What is happening there?
And
he's bailed.
Yeah. Wow.
That is very odd. I've never seen the 919 do that before.
He must have. I don't know.
He was on soft tires. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm speechless. Maybe too much downforce on the rear wing, or
opposite, too much on the front.
Yeah, maybe.
Bacchus and Blue are still fighting at it. You can see how much speed Blue can take through that first couple of sectors. He's down the inside again, and let's watch as Bacchus disappears, because they're both going to run out of, hybrid deployment at the same point. But one of these cars is running probably 200 points less downforce on the nose. And that's the thing. Blue has sacrificed his race setup for qualifying for the pole. If he wanted to run this setup, he had to get away early, and he didn't. He got the penalty, he got caught out, and he wasn't able to get the gap. Flappy, on the other hand, has done it the right way. He's trimmed the downforce to be able to run fast enough in the race to be able to keep the LM55 at bay. He's running very low though. Look at the sparks coming off the back of that Porsche.
Yeah, Blue. Yeah, thanks for joining, Michael. Yeah, Blue is able to keep up with Bacchus, but he's just not. When he goes out of the slipstream, he's just not able to overtake.
Oh, but Bacchus has gone deep.
Oh.
He just about keeps it out of the gravel, so he gets a decent enough run. Blue is going to be behind him, and Blue is going to start getting frustrated. Not known for his patience, not always known for his ability to let the race come to him, and therefore can put himself sometimes in a little bit of a hole.
But I will admit, it is frustrating when you can't get past. I've been in a situation like this before. I don't remember if it was Drek or ADEC, but just not being able to get past the guy in front. You know you're faster, you know you have the better pace, but you just can't get past. It definitely will ruin your concentration a little bit, as we see the sun is
fully setting.
Yeah.
The headlights are ablaze. Flappy 4/10 up on the
as we see Blue. Oh, it almost looked like it was gonna go past the outside of Bacchus, but he's still not able to get a move.
Bacchus is doing an absolutely cracking job right now. He's holding off, you know, the champion-elect of the season, and he's just keeping with his race, his plan, and holding that third position. Still no sign of any rain though. No one's scrambling for the umbrellas yet. Flappy almost sets a purple lap, but Vlave takes it off him, but he's got a penalty. So all of that hard work is going to come undone. Also interested to see how the front tyre... So the tyres on Flappy's car are looking fantastic.
Overall, it looks pretty good on us.
Super balanced, and we know Flappy's good on tyres. He's always been strong on tyres. He's just taken 7/10 out of Vlave's best purple sector last time by, and he is stretching away.
I'd say Vlave's tyres also looks very good at this point.
Yeah, they do look pretty good.
Soft.
A bit more wear on that front front left. And that's probably the lesser downforce. So, well, I say less downforce. I think to get that top speed, I think Flappy is running no wings in that car. But because the Porsche is naturally more agreeable, let's say, to turning in, you don't have to run as much downforce. Vlave is going to be running more than minimum downforce. We know the LM55 with no downforce in the car will do 218 down the straight, so he's running probably 100 points there, around that more downforce. But because the LM55 won't behave on its tyres as much, and it is always four-wheel drive, it costs itself more time scrubbing those tyres. Bacchus is still holding up Blue. This is going to be the story of the race. H-Boss in 5th, he seems to have a pretty big gap now to Gadget. And Senna, though, still doing a good old job there in 7th place, although he has just about made the corner there.
Muller's still sticking with it. He's fixed his damage, but I don't think he took on tires in his pit stop.
No, he stayed on his mediums.
To answer Paul, as I call him in chat, yeah, he lost the PSN connection like he did last race, so that is really, really a shame. Yeah, good thing it happened in the start and not the last lap, but still a shame. Let's hope for better luck next year. Lens? We do see... Oh, well, might be my eyes deceiving me, but it looked like a little bit of a gap between Bacchus and Blue, but yeah, it's still very close between them.
Yep, and they are actually closing on Vlave a little bit on this lap. Vlave's had a little bit of a duff lap.
As we have Blue up into third.
Blue has gone down the inside there. he has made it work. So good run through the end of the Porsche chicane, Porsche curves into the Porsche chicanes, and he has finally overtaken him. And he has set his own personal best doing it. I think Vox Bacchus just had a little bit of an issue there. But he will be quicker on the straight. He's just got to stay with Blue, and he will close on him. Flav's tyres, I think, are starting to have an impact. He is dropping away from Flappy. He lost 1.5 seconds last lap, so he's going to have to keep concentrating. But it's interesting. I genuinely thought the LM55s were going to be stronger than this. But so far, it's still the 919, despite this track having the longest possible straight. It doesn't matter what you do. So we see a yellow flag for Varno down at the... Varno has binned it again. Oof. And that is unfortunate. But no other flags. I don't know why we were seeing greens and yellows there. So, how much can Bacchus catch down the straight? Blue is also chomping his tyres.
Well, Bacchus has dropped off 1.5 seconds now to Blue, so...
Bacchus is fuel saving.
Okay.
I think. He's not quite hitting 200.
Well, I think Flappy has his head in the game now, since his rather weird choice of car in Sunday's DRSL, where he showed up in a gold Jeep. And got third, so he's got something to prove
Bacchus
today.
closing on Blue. Bacchus closing on Blue. He's going to get him into Mulsanne corner.
Oh, that went fast. From 1.5 seconds to...
And that's going to be frustrating Blue. He did the hard bit, and now he's going to be stuck behind him again for a bit more. And he's not going to be able to close in him on Flav. And this is what I was saying, is... You know, for all intents and purposes, Blue can be as fast as he likes. But Bacchus, who is just he's starting to fuel save, that's what he's doing. That's why Blue's getting closer now, because Bacchus was definitely in the upper 9.7-200 range. Oh, a little bit of contact there between the two cars as well.
Probably not easy to see each other's body.
But Bacchus got to wiggle out the corner, and Blue's going to have the better run. Is Bacchus going to defend by using full rich? I think he is. And he doesn't want to give it up because he knows this is a podium. I'm interested to know if Blue knows if he's champion or not, because he is driving like he's got to beat Flappy, and he doesn't. There's a 60-point gap between them. With the drop rounds, he can't be closed. And again, he gets that better exit than Bacchus, but he can't do anything with it. Is he going to send it down the inside? No, not from there. Surely not. No, he does the right thing. Like I say, these guys are pushing each other hard. Bacchus gets up another big wiggle, and that's going to cost him out the corner. And Blue's going to have a look. Oh, what a contact!
Oh, yeah, Blue
that looked
immediately
like a little
backs
bit of
off.
lag. But yeah, Blue just keeps keeping himself there. Is that going to be any sort of penalty for either car? No, it doesn't look like it is, so that's good. Flappy is now just checking out at this point in the race. Tyres are looking immaculate. The car is well balanced. He is just disappearing.
He's just having driving Miss Daisy drive at this moment.
Well, he's having a driving really fast sort of drive.
Yeah. Probably scared of living daylights out of Miss Daisy, but...
He's in the 203-mile-an-hour bus. Yeah, I am genuinely a bit shocked that it's a Porsche 134 at the moment. 135, sorry. The LM55 gadget is not really close. He's dropped 10 seconds off of HBoss. Now, I am really interested to see what happens if it rains though. who's the best in the wet of this class in these cars.
It will definitely change things up. As you saw, if you saw the last week's race where it started to rain, unfortunately for as we see Blue with a little slide there. Unfortunately for Cartman, who did his first ADEC race on a wheel, he struggled a lot in the rain, and if it would have gone on, he might have lost position to, I think it was Bacchus behind him. I'm not really sure at this point. But one of them were closing up and into him, and I think Cartman might have lost his position if it wasn't for a disconnect, as we see Blue off.
He looked like he was pushing really, really hard because he got a huge wiggle out of Indianapolis and then just threw it off the road at Arnage. And this is what I mean. Blue hates being stuck behind people.
Well, we're going to take a look back at the incident and see what exactly he did. Did he miss his braking point? Yeah, I think, that's what it looks like. I think he missed his braking point.
Yeah, he just sailed into the gravel. So easy to do. So easy to do here.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? You don't have a lot of light, a lot of markers to look for in the dark.
There's one marker at the top, and if you miss it, you're in trouble. Dennis has rightly pointed out that Flav did have a penalty on that lap, the 2:13 lap, so that's why he dropped so much time to Flappy, and he's actually keeping it pretty consistent now, at 5 seconds at the Tete Rouge. So the gap is now coming back down. I think Flappy had a consistent lap, and I wouldn't be surprised if Flappy is now fuel saving, just because he's got that bit of a gap. I'd be shocked if he wasn't backing it down to at least mix 2. He's still doing 200, so he may still be pushing at full rich mix. But
I think Bacchus could try and close in on Vlave at this moment. Since he's not fighting Blue anymore, maybe this will be the time for him to just kick it into full gear and try and catch up to second.
Yeah, I mean, Bacchus is back to full rich as well. He was doing a little bit slower about a lap or so ago down the straight. But no, I think he's just dropped it down to mix 2 actually. He hit 201 for a bit, but he's dropped down to 199. So I think he's dialed the fuel out. Vlave obviously is a lot quicker down this part of the track. So we'll have to compare them once we get to maybe the end of the lap again, just trying to set a reference point once these guys have gone through their representative best sectors. But yeah, Blue's lost 6-7 seconds to Bacchus now. He's going to have to dig he's just jumped over the curve, and he's got H-Boss actually not far behind him, and I bet you H-Boss has got a similar setup to Bacchus of more top speed. This could be costly for Blue if he gets caught up behind H-Boss as well, who's not look as quick as Bacchus. I would be really, really shocked if Blue doesn't fight this hard. He will not want to lose a position, but he has absolutely shredded his tyres as well. He's pushed really hard through those handling sections, trying to get past people, while everyone else is taking it a little bit more careful, I think, and trying to eke those tyres out. Despite the fact, in all normal terms, having higher downforce should protect your tyres. This case, because Blue's been fighting so hard to get past people in the parts of the track he's fast, it's just costing him time and tyres. I mean, it is still magnificent to watch that car go through corners. You can see how much downforce it's running, but the high downforce setup just is not working here. If we had the chicanes, he'd be running away with this, but we don't, so he's not.
Well, I'll say this about Bacchus' teammate as well. After Luco took, I think he's taking as we say, H-Boss have a half-second penalty now.
That's a shame.
I think H-Boss was a good replacement for Luco in this season. And yeah, it really impressed me this season, H-Boss. He's done very well. A lot of good positions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A very, very valiant effort of jumping in there. And I do like the fact that he's got his own little touches on his team's his team livery car. That does look fantastic. Having the white wing mirrors. I'm pretty sure that Luco's got the red ones, and Bacchus obviously has the yellow. And I find it quite amusing that the red and yellow livery does look very similar to the Ferrari livery that won at Le Mans this year.
Yeah, I saw that. Is it the exact same thing, or is it just similar?
It's very similar. I don't think it's the exact same thing, but it is very similar. But that's very cool to see.
I will say this: I do miss the Welsh Dragon livery that they had the season before, but just inspired by Luco. Says I think it was Luco that has designed them.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, but yeah, I do miss the proper Welsh Dragon livery that they had.
I think it'd be really cool if they could do like a mask of the Welsh Dragon, like a transparent one that's kind of the whole car. Do like a transparent layer of it, so you just kind of see the outline throughout the whole car, but it doesn't make a huge impact. That would no, maybe they've done that with the rear. Actually, they have. I'm talking nonsense. It's on there. I just got the right angle of it, and I can see it. So yes, it's on there. Which again just adds to the texture and what builds up such a great looking livery. I'm sure Luco's taking the mickey out of me now for having not spotted that originally.
Well, H-Boss will serve his penalty now. Drop him off a little bit from Blue, but yeah, Blue has definitely used a lot more tires than Boss at the moment. When do you think we might potentially see our first pit stop from the top boys?
I think a tank of fuel will go close to 20 laps, and that's not far from the end of the actual race. I mean, you can go a little bit further than that. These guys are starting to fuel save a little bit, although Vlave is putting the hammer down now. He's just done a 3:10 to take the fastest lap of the race, so he is pushing hard on that car to see if he can close that gap back in. Gap's down to 3 seconds as we start the lap, so a couple more laps that are a bit like that, and he may get himself back into being able to jostle with Flappy through the lap, which is only going to slow up Flapjack, which is I think what Ivan's trying to do here. And Vlave will try and push that gap down a little bit as much as possible, so that Flappy can't do anything with fuel or anything like that, and start pushing away. Grim has now dropped to 10th with Ivano in 9th. Miller up into P8, who's just pitted for a new set of tyres on lap 8. Got Senna in P7. Senna's got some damage, so that's why his times have dropped off. Gadget is in P6.
Just got himself a half-second penalty by the looks of it.
And Bacchus is still 7 seconds ahead of Blue. H-Boss having had that a couple of duff laps. It looks like he had the penalty one lap. I wonder if he had another one later on in the lap after I moved off his cursor, because he's dropped 4 seconds off of Blue.
Blue also has a half-second penalty now, so that's going to bring him closer to H-Boss.
just going to take a very quick step away from the mic, so I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Yep. And Ivan now closing in, or Vlave closing in to Flappy, but then again, through the Porsche curbs, Flappy will definitely be faster on this one. But going up this straight, maybe Vlave can close in a little bit. The Porsche is just remarkably fast. Gets so much speed out of the slow corners. Yeah, that LM55 is crazy, crazy lens. H-Boss has dropped off a little bit of blue. 8 seconds now, so little slidey. Gadget looks to close in 6th. And Gadget's tires are looking very good for being on 12-lap old tires. Gadget is, of course, just running his own little race at the moment. And pretty sure he'll be able to catch up a little bit. Ivan, 6-second gap now up to Flappy. Yeah, Lionessy, the relationship between you and Cartman is just, it's so cute. It's so cute to see. There's always great love between you two.
It's, Nessie as always. Flappy's just put the hammer down as well to extend the gap back out to a 310 with a 310.2. So they're pushing each other still quite hard.
It was 6-second gap there for a low moment on the Mulsanne.
Yeah,
so,
at the top of Tete Rouge, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
it was about 6 seconds, and like I say, Vlave's pulled that back down with the difference in top speed, but he won't get that much further down for the rest of this lap. H-Boss having had another bad lap, it looks like, so he's dropped way off of Blue Racer.
It looks like Gadget was closing in a little bit.
I think he still will be. He's just at his personal best of 313.0. So I had an opportunity to drive the TMB car earlier in the week. It's an interesting car to drive, the Mazda. It doesn't have a lot of innate kind of bite at the front. You kind of have to hang on through the corners, but once you get the car pointed in the right direction, it does kind of launch out of corners. So it's a tricky car to drive here because this track is quite positive, has quite a positive front end bias. You do want to be able to nip that nose in, but Vlave's making it work. Gadget's getting back up there in terms of the pace, and the difference between these two cars is not huge. I thought Vlave was going for the pits there. That looked like a dummy, or he was just trying to open up the track as much as possible.
Take a look back in
311. Again, pulled another second out. He just didn't want that gap to get any closer. Backus to the 312.3, so he's staying pretty much the same pace as Vlave.
Well, I think it is starting to light up, or is it just me?
I think it is starting to lighten up a little bit.
Well, 39 minutes driven so far.
There's a little bit of clouding going on as well, just in the distance. It's a little bit interesting.
Still see some stars out, so yeah, the big question is, will we see rain tonight?
Rain. Blue has just put his personal best of a 3:10.9, and I will admit it is really impressive seeing how the tyres have held on. I know obviously it's not like the old days back on GT Sport where you'd see the first slither of red and you'd go and bail for the pits.
Yeah.
And you'd lose a second per lap, but it is actually quite amazing to see see how long these tyres do last at a good level.
I mean, I've seen Flappy run on fully red tires for 5 laps, and he's still keeping up a very decent pace. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like this tire model. I wish we would go back to the GT Sport model, but it is what it is, and I think we've all gotten used to it.
I don't mind the tire model. It would be nice if the tires ran out on red.
Yeah.
I think the GT Sport model was too far the other way.
Mm-hmm.
They'd run out within the first third, and they'd be useless. Which combined with for some of the time, the ridiculous pit stop times did turn the race into effectively a 5-lap sprint, because you could, if you were quick enough at the front, you could pull your entire pit stop window in the first 5 laps, pit, and then you could always pit ahead of the guy in P2. There was no strategy. It was just get a 6-second gap or get an 8-second gap and then pit, and you've got better tyres. This is a much better experience, I think, in terms of endurance. It's a shame the softs run a little bit too long, I think. The gap between the soft, medium and hard tyre is too high in terms of pace for the drop-off. We saw right at the start of GT7, we saw people using the hards, we saw people using the mediums. Now it's back to just using the soft tyre, and that is a real shame, because it was really exciting when we had those races right at the start where the hard tyre was the best race tyre, and that was unbelievable. We've never ever seen that in ADEC. I think we saw it right at the start of Drek. We saw a few hard tyre stints. I think Muller famously did one at Blue Moon Speedway back in Group 1. He did a hard tyre stint. I think I did some medium tyre stints in Group 1 and possibly even Group 2. As we see Flappy coming up to lap Grim.
Grim, of course, very routined and knows where to let the faster drivers through.
Yep. Blue, after pushing to try and catch up with Bacchus, has picked himself up a half-second penalty, and Bacchus has responded with his personal best lap of the race, just a tiny bit slower than Blade, so the gaps are staying pretty consistent. H-Boss has dropped off quite a lot though in terms of pace at this point, but so's Gadget. Gadget's got 1 second time penalty, so he's going to drop even more. Senna is still in the 3:16 sort of bracket with that damage, but it is a big gap back to Miller in the Toyota. I have a feeling he may be consigning this Toyota very much to the bottom of a river after this weekend, because that car has not been fast anywhere, ever.
No, I've said it from the very moment this car was added into the game. It is a good-looking machine, but it just can't keep up.
No, it can't. And that's a real shame, because I was really hoping that they'd find a way to balance them. The hypercars in real life aren't going to keep up with the LMPs, but the fact that the Porsche has, the 919 has what, 400, 500 more points of downforce on the nose, means that the Toyota's never going to be able to keep up, and it's a shame when they're in the same class. Or they don't put them in the same class. That's the other thing they could have done. And But then what do? Do you have a Group H for hypercar? But it gets confusing. I think the group system is the unfortunate factor of this system.
Yeah. We've got a cheeky little message from Blue there. His left stick is wearing out and starting to feel less responsive when nudging it, and he can't fix it. That doesn't sound good.
That does sound a little bit unfortunate. Sounds like someone needs to get a wheel. It's alright. Maybe in the pit stops you can do a controller swap.
Yeah. Oh, very
unfortunate little error there. Flappy having a bit of a compromised run there through Test Rouge. Looked like he ran a little bit deep into the corner.
Well, as long as he didn't grab himself a penalty, it should be fine. But yeah, Blue has used a lot of his tires at the moment.
Yep. I think that's probably the effect of being the only guy on pad. Pads do use a lot of tyres. I mean, Dennis has made a very good point, and it is very true. They should have got the licenses for more than just one hypercar.
Yeah.
We had the Ferrari and the new Porsche and the BMW and the Lamborghinis coming next year. The Cadillac, had all of those cars come as one thing, I think as a series ADEC would have banned the LMP cars outright.
Yeah.
Maybe the old LMPs would have stayed, so the 908, the original R18, because they don't have the punch, and it's the punch which is the problem.
Yeah.
The more modern R18 may have been possible to keep, but again, then has it got too much downforce? Does it have blah 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 sort of thing? Yes, the hybrid in the diesel Audi isn't as punchy, but it becomes a question then, because then you've got a big class of cars that are the modern cars, and that's the category, and we'll keep some old cars in for fun and really specialist environments. Could have been that. Okay, someone sacrificed their whole year to run the old R18 round here, and it's the best car, but that's okay because everywhere else it wasn't as good, and that's okay. It's okay to sacrifice. If you really want to run that car and you really want to be quick at one track, it makes perfect sense. That's your decision. You accept the compromise. But it is a shame that the best car in the game is from 2016, and we are in 2023, almost 2024. This is why the VGT season happened back in 2020, is because the cars were old, and the first year of Drek and ADEC was LMPs only, so it made sense to do a year of VGTs only.
Yeah.
And I know some people weren't wholly popular with the way they drove, and they do have some flaws, and they had some very interesting car dynamics, let's say.
Absolutely.
Where you drive around in qualifying with your foot on the brake to build up the battery, and then you do one incredible lap, and then the battery would be spent, and you'd drive around with 20% battery for the rest of the race. And I'm not going to say that I used to have to do fastest lap attempts by sacrificing an entire lap the lap before of driving around with my foot on the brake, but I had to drive around with my foot on the brake for half a lap. And you'd be like 4 seconds slower, and then you'd be 2 seconds 2 seconds quicker on that one lap, because you could actually have a battery.
Wow.
It's a shame in GT7 that the Audi VGT is hamstrung by being the heaviest car in the group. It's 250 kilos heavier than anything else. It's a real shame, because that car was actually really fun to drive.
Oh, the Av Division GT, yeah, that I loved it in the Christmas special we did many years back.
Was
But
that the full electric one
no, it was the Group 1.
though? Okay.
But yeah, those front tires, they got slaughtered.
It did. You had to learn how to manage them.
Yeah.
It took watching Smithy drive it. And again, it was a product of its era because it wouldn't work now. It wouldn't work in any era where you're not. Oh, it's getting very misty, by the way. Very dark. We're about to see some rain.
Yeah, maybe.
40 minutes from the end, we're going to see an absolute downpour. That is looking very dark all of a sudden.
You see Ivano just letting the lapping cars through.
It's pretty cloudy. Are we going to see any rain with it?
We might. We could definitely.
That's a big black cloud above just to the north of the circuit. Yeah, that is a very big cloud. Blue's in a lot of trouble here. His controller issue is costing him a lot, and he's just got a penalty for it.
Oof, yeah.
Vlave's in. Vlave's gone.
Ooh.
Is that fuel or is that tyres? Not raining,
Maybe-
is it? No.
Maybe
What's
both.
he doing
No.
on tyres? He's still got 27 litres of fuel, so he's got plenty of fuel. Just over half distance.
Yeah, they must take on a little bit of fuel, don't they?
Yeah, they'll have to take on 30 odd litres of fuel, but those are slick, so it's not like he's trying to preempt rain happening, but I can't see any rain at this point. No one's... And Gadget's in as well.
Maybe
That
they know
both.
something we don't.
They got something on the radar. He's on to Inters!
Wow!
They've gone Inters!
That could be the. What do you think? This could be a little dangerous because on a dry track,
They're going to burn.
they are
That's
going to
too
burn.
early.
That,
They
yeah,
have the fuel. Why have they done this so early?
I do see some very black clouds, but
But it's not raining.
No.
Flappy's halfway around the circuit almost. Even if it absolutely tips down, unless it absolutely buckets down beyond the point of the slick tyres being able to manage, Flappy will be able to respond to this. It's all gonna come down to, does the rain happen now? It needs to become a washout at this point. Senna's
Gadget
in.
also on Inters now, so the two motion blur teammates.
rain.
I don't know. I don't
see
see
like
any-
this play yet.
No,
unless it rains, it's not going to come off of them. They are going to burn those tyres. I can believe the rain's coming. It is out of nowhere become exceptionally black in the cloud front. It is looking like it's going to be a big rain shower. Senna has also gone for Inters. Has
Wow.
he reacted to? There's no rain.
There must have been a reaction to Gadget and Vlave for this, but this is so.
Flappy's almost home.
This is what I would like to say sketchy. This is very sketchy. We don't see any precipitation on the track yet. This is so dangerous.
Flappy will be in this time for Inters. I would be astonished if he isn't, because he's got to cover them off now. Because yes, there's no rain at this point, but if he doesn't come in and cover them off, he's leaving himself exposed for a second lap. There's no price to pay in doing this pit stop now, because they've committed. Now, Blue, I can imagine not doing it,
Yeah.
because he will be trying anything to get himself back up ahead. Bacchus will stay out because why the hell not? You've got half a chance of an absolutely
Oh,
historic
Flappy
win.
goes in.
Flappy's
Flappy.
in. So the gamble has not paid off.
So Dennis was wrong. Dennis gambled that Flappy will stay out for one more lap, but yeah, Dennis is wrong. Let's see what Flappy goes in for. Will Bacchus follow Flappy into the pits? Will he respond?
Does.
Yeah, he does.
So does Blue? Yeah.
Everyone goes in. Oh, we got rain. We got rain.
Is rain it? Is rain?
Yep, we got rain.
Rain's in now. They went too soon. And they're going to cost themselves time. Their tyres are a little bit worn. But there was no impact to Flappy by staying out. Now, does he go to wets? Here's the real thing. Does he go to wets? So this is going to be, what, 10 minutes of rain? We don't know how heavy the intensity. But 10 minutes is plenty enough time for it to get very wet. It's already at the top of...
And it is a very long track, so it's definitely...
It's 4 laps. If it gets beyond Inter's weather... Is someone going to go for wets? I would be astonished if someone does.
Well,
Bacchus is on Inters.
For the moment...
Bacchus has jumped Flav. Blue has jumped Flav.
Wow.
The Inters have cost these guys massively. I told you it wasn't going to work.
No,
Flav has lost 15 seconds, or 10, 12 seconds. H-Boss is on wets.
Wow. That's going to burn him even more.
Well, it is now raining. It is already into the Inter's portion, so if it gets worse, Boss has made a good call, but he is 32 seconds behind Flapjack. He needs Flappy to have a huge incident, basically, because these guys can come in next lap and still jump H-Boss. But Gadget has lost so much time.
Both of them have lost so much. I think going in that early... I think that might have cost him in the end. I think that might have cost Ivan a podium. Ivan is right on the rear of Blue and Bacchus right now, but yeah, that might have...
Look at that weather go up though. It's already almost at the top. And this is the thing. Blue is now actually at more danger to these sort of things because he will now have the most downforce. Big plus. But how's he going to overtake? He's going to have to try to overtake offline, in the puddles. It's not going to be easy to make these overtakes. Bacchus has called it right. Oh, there's a car in the... Who was that? Muller's in the wall, because he's still on soft tyres.
Oh, no. He didn't react. He didn't react soon enough.
Yeah, he's the only one out on slicks, and he is in real trouble now.
Yeah, I lost the incident. That's before the replay could catch it. Fortunately, Muller has to crawl back to the pits. What about Ivano and Grim? They're on wet tires.
Yep. Grim's on wets, Ivano's on inters.
Back is with a half-second penalty from somewhere.
And the rain stopped. Rain stopped.
Rain stopped?
Rain stopped. Everyone's wipers are back off. So now H-Boss's gamble has not worked out.
There is no rain on Flappy's windscreen, so yeah, you're right.
Muller is he's in a fence. See, that's the thing. If Muller had been able to stay out on those slicks and get through it, he would have done well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's lost the position to Ivano. He's going to lose the position to... Oh, Flappy's off! Flappy's off!
What?
Flappy's off! The car's okay, but he's off. And he's lost his entire lead.
Oh.
Bacchus is now right behind him.
We're gonna take a look back at that later, but we gotta follow the battle for first now.
Yeah, he's just dropped it through the Porsche curves. Blue has got so much downforce compared to these guys. He's got so much confidence. And this is the thing, if Vlave hadn't thrown this, he'd now be leading and in a car that's easy to drive in the wet. These guys have got to deal with that feisty hybrid, but Flappy is going to be kicking himself. He's just chucked 20 seconds down the road.
a moment lapse in concentration.
Yep, and
probably,
there goes Blue.
Oh!
He's gone for it. He's gone a little bit too deep, but he'll get away with it. Oh, will he? Oh, will he? And Vlave's got half a chance here of catching these guys down the straight. He probably won't. But if they keep fighting, I mean, Flappy's lost the position to Blue as well.
Wow.
Blue's downforce is now really paying off, but oh, Blue's right out there on the limit.
Oh, Blue's very wide!
That's going to be a penalty and losing all the time.
Well, unless he actually slowed down.
That's going to give Vlave a chance. Vlave is going to have a chance here. Unless he lost enough time.
Yeah.
Vlave is going to be past him, and he's going to be past him too soon. Can he catch him? He's 1.6 seconds behind. What is the relative downforce of these guys? I think Flappy's got more downforce than the backers. Just. But here comes Vlave. I still disagree with the decision to pit the lap early, but Flappy making a mistake has put Vlave back in with a shot here. These boys are fighting hard.
Blue has lost 2.7 seconds to Vlave already. 3.
Yep. Oh, I feel so bad for H-Boss. Just that. Oh, it's
3 wide. Vlave in front. Yeah, this is not going to last though.
Oh, no, because Vlave's gone deep. Here comes the punch. And Vlave's got a penalty.
No.
Flappy has probably got away with this. Because he's, possibly got away with this, I think. But Vlave's going to come back at him. And that will slow him down.
Well, now we're going to have another problem. If the track continues to dry out, the guys will have to look for the wet sections to cool off their tires. And
do they pit or do they stay out?
That is the question.
Here comes Blue again with his very, very quick car in this section of the track.
But by the time he catches, well, yeah, this section should be good for Blue. The Porsche car,
that was like a minute of rain, and it did this.
Blue's
Blue's trying it around all the way around the outside. This was my pad isn't working anymore, and does that move? That's bold. And I'd just like to point out, once again, ladies and gentlemen, downforce.
Yeah.
That is what downforce does. It is quite astonishing, the difference. This is 3 identical cars set up in 3 different ways. Bacchus is the compromise, this is the middle of the road. Blue is all the downforce, and Flappy is none of the downforce. And you can see it in the car's behaviour. And this is what we were talking about right at the start. Is you get loads more grip, but it comes with the penalty of being a barn door down the straights. Flappy is going to be able to pull away from Bacchus down the straight here, unless he makes a mistake. I would be surprised if it is, but now there is a drying line. So these guys are going to have to be careful. Obviously they're still on the inters, so they've got... Oh, but they've both gone! Oh, damage! No one's got damage amazingly, but Blue got caught in the incident there.
And Flappy's got
the penalty.
Flappy and Bacchus. Penalties.
Yeah, and Vlave made a clean run through Tech Rouge. He's going to get them all again. This is the thing, they're all pushing too hard to get onto Tech Rouge, and they're not concentrating on just hitting the apex. I wonder if everyone's going to try and stay out on these inters to the end now. No, Grimm's off of them. Muller's changed onto them after his 6-minute gamble.
This is just this is a crazy development.
Flappy making that mistake at the Porsche curves has really thrown the proverbial cat amongst the proverbial pigeons. Because, and look, Bacchus is trying to find all the wet stuff. Glaive has done the most damage to his tyres because he did that lap in the dry.
Yeah, we can just see the guys now chasing for the wet patches to cool off their tires. Blue will definitely catch up again to the penalty boys.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, Glaive is now going to get a scot-free run. Can he break away now? This is his chance because Flappy's going to lose half a second. That will turn into what? Actually, probably not as much as most cars because he gets a double dump of his battery. So he barely lost any time because he was below the speed of his required to get the battery to go. So he actually lost very little time because he could get straight back up to speed with the battery. So turns out the penalties are much less effect on the hybrid cars than the non-hybrids, something I'd never thought about before. But you saw it in action. Glaive barely disappeared up the road. Now Bacchus has got the
of cars behind Flappy.
These boys are...
This is crazy, Plux. This is so crazy.
It's just physics. Oh, Blue's gone for it. Blue's gone for slicks.
Oh.
But he's going to have to navigate the pit lane.
Yeah.
So Blue's committing to slicks. He's got more fuel. Oh, Bacchus didn't take fuel.
Oh.
That's why he caught so much. Bacchus has to pit again.
Yeah. Wow.
That's a strategic blunder. In a wet race, you always make sure you've got the fuel. Miller has dropped it on slicks.
Has he?
Yeah, at the start of Mulsanne, I'm guessing he touched a wet patch.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Okay, so who's out? So, Blue is having to be very careful. It is still very wet offline. That's why Miller dropped it. Gadget's coming off the slicks. Ivano's coming off the slicks. I'm going to watch everyone out the pits because I think someone's going to drop it. Who's going to push too hard out the pits?
Oh, I'm going to pay attention to Flappy and Bacchus.
Oh, Bacchus, H-Boss is taking it very gentle. Very gentle, let's say. Oh, Gadget's dropped it! It's Gadget!
No!
But is he going to get away with it?
Oh!
He spun it, but he's kept it going! He's kept it going!
Oh! No, he's spinning again!
He got away with it!
Oh my goodness! He lost a lot of time, but yeah, he managed to save his car from that.
He
wow.
saved the car from damage.
Oh.
H-Boss got away with it.
I'm gonna...
Blue's going, and see, this is the thing. Blue now is going to be very fast, but he can't go offline.
Nope.
If he goes offline, he's in a lot of trouble. We saw with Miller having dropped it in a straight line. But they are spinning up these inters as well. You can hear it on the exits.
I'll say this: the inters don't look as bad as I thought they would.
No. Senna in the Bugatti got out of the pits full throttle and didn't have any problems. The four-wheel drive system was okay. Interesting.
Well, it is a pretty chunky boy as well.
There's Miller off the track.
Again?
Yes. Arnage. Arno's driving down the Mulsanne with a 4-second time penalty. Just finding all the puddles. Grimm is back on slicks. Miller is on slicks but very damaged.
Not a fun race for our good friend Muller tonight.
Nope. So the gap is 28 seconds. If they come out now, Blue will have jumped them. But they won't know that because they're too far behind. But I think you have to stay out. But they're gonna... No, they are staying out. But Flappy's coming in. Flappy's going for it.
Huh. Very
Bacchus is
interesting.
staying out. Bacchus needed to go in. That's the thing. Bacchus needs to go in because he needs to pit for fuel. Unless he can somehow find a way to make... I guess maybe he's got 25% fuel left, actually. And he's only got to get 20 minutes. Is Bacchus going to do this on the amount of fuel he's got? Because everyone else has got lots more fuel than him. Is he trying to do it on limited fuel? We saw he was leaning it out earlier. I was 100% sure he was leaning that out earlier. Blue is past Flappy.
Flappy
Flappy
coming
was
out now.
much quicker than Blue out of the pits. That was very well negotiated.
Well, we're going to take a look back at the incident with Flappy where he went a little wide.
Yeah, let's have a look back.
Take a look. As we go chase cam. Oh! It must have been highly slippy as he actually hit the tire barrier here. Wow.
But no damage. He got so lucky without the damage. He was just out on the really wet patch, wasn't he? Just aquaplaned.
As we come into a big sun glare.
That's a very exposed camera.
Yeah.
So, this has really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons, hasn't it? I've said that twice now. Okay, so Vox does have enough fuel, according to Dennis. Okay. I will trust you, Dennis, on your maths.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
He still has to keep those inters alive, and by the looks of it right now, it doesn't look like they're gonna die off anytime soon. But he's gonna be slower, right?
He is, but is it gonna rain again?
That is the question. Can't see any
If it
clouds.
doesn't rain, then they're in trouble. If it rains, they've pulled an absolute masterstroke.
Vlave is getting a lot of free air now, so he's pulling away.
He's made the wrong strategy call and turned it into the right strategy call.
Flappy is... No, he's not catching up all that much to Blue.
No, because Blue's his fast part of the track now. Oh, he touched the wet stuff though. He got very lucky. Flave's bailed. Bacchus is staying out. Bacchus is if it rains, Bacchus is in the catbird seat. The downside, because the others would have to re-pit again. He is doing everything now to protect those tyres, and he's doing well enough at it. He's losing 10 seconds a lap. Okay, let me do some maths. So, it won't rain now for probably at least another 5 minutes, but if rain comes for that last 10-minute section, the guys would need to have pulled 20-odd seconds. And this is going on it being heavy rain again. Then you'd need to stop for inters because the slicks would aquaplane. They'd need to pull 3 laps ahead of Bacchus, stay with me, to pull a pit stop. Because they'd need 28 seconds to do the pit stop. If Bacchus can hold off for another lap, so it gets all the way around this lap, and rain comes, he might just about make it work.
But I'm still concerned about the fuel levels.
It's tight. He is 100% doing a Plux. As you used to point out my fuel all the time.
Yeah.
But this is close. Bacchus is rolling the dice in a really smart way. Yeah, this is how I would roll the dice.
Blue is definitely closing
He
in
is.
now.
Look at the. He is fuel. He's only at 188 miles an hour. He is leaning that fuel out. I think he's accepting that he can't get there on full mix, but he's accepting losing some time to these guys now because he wants to be able to use all the fuel when they get there. Does that make sense? I think.
But yeah, another problem too, the track is drying out to the proportions of not many wet parts left. Well, the tires aren't not wearing as fast, but that could change very quickly. As we do see Blue now, just under a second.
Yep, he's caught the seconds there. Backus needs to defend like crazy down the middle of the road. But he won't be able to because Backus is fuel saving. He's giving it to him. Because he hasn't got the fuel. He needed to stay in for another 5 litres, I think. He will make it on fuel. He's only got to do a bit more. That's such a shame. The fuel gamble didn't work. That's what's cost him more than anything now, is he can't get up to speed. But he has to stay the course. He has to stay on this strategy. But he needs rain to come, and rain to come hard within 2 laps. Because Blue is going to pull 3 seconds on him. Sorry, 3 seconds? 10 seconds on him per lap. Maybe more.
Flappy's also closing in now.
Yep. As he was 15 seconds that lap. He needs it to come in the next 2, or he's going to be in real trouble.
What is it with the non-fuel stop pits? Let's see.
28 seconds. 28 seconds.
28 seconds. So almost 30 seconds of being in the pits. So if he can stay under that, he should be good. Backus. And if it starts raining, of course.
Yeah. If it rains, he's already 10 seconds back. Because he just can't push with the fuel. You can hear the car is just not running at full pace. He is really down on fuel. That's a shame. That's a real shame. It would have been... What a way the season could have ended for Backus there. But he just doesn't have the fuel to make it work. Blue is now well and truly in the catbird seat. He just needs to not throw it off if the rain comes back.
Blave also closing in now. A few more seconds behind Backus. Closing in fast. Amazing turn of events so far in the race.
It has not been dull.
H-Boss also closing in on Backus, but he's 26 seconds down the line. Gadget the best sector.
And Blue has turned it back on. He is flying at this point. That's 3:08.6. It's faster than his pole lap.
And he's got himself a penalty somewhere. Was he a little bit wide?
He was a little bit wide on the exit of the final corner. I genuinely can't believe that that Blue is going to win this race. He was down and out.
Mm-hmm.
He's been off the track, what, 4 times?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
So if we don't get any rain, this will be probably the result. Maybe Backus will... oh, he's struggling with grip now. Those inters are really not designed for the dry.
Nope. H-Boss will catch him at this point.
Yeah, he's lost 3 seconds already. 4 in half a lap. I don't know if it's better, as we say in Norway, the expression doesn't probably translate as well into English, but bite the sour apple and just go into the pits. Get some fuel, fresh tires, but I can't see any dangerous clouds either. With 9 minutes to go. Grim in 8th now. Ivano still on inters. Muller soft. How many times have Muller been in now? 5 times? 5, 6 times? Ooh.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Where's Kimi Velocini when you need him? Need this race to go upside down again. Kimi Velocini's probably being rammed off by angry fanboys in dailies. Backus hasn't lost too much to H-Boss in this current lap.
Clouds are coming back.
Are they?
Clouds are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
North end of the circuit again. I think.
Interesting.
No, sorry, west side. I mean, I can't actually remember which way the circuit is orientated in real life, but I'm going to call it the north end of the circuit. So, what we're learning is if Backus had put 10 litres more fuel in the car, he could have run the car at a higher mix and probably been a lot closer to the leaders, because he is now, I mean, on fumes. He's in the 326s. H-Boss. Gadget is a long way back for setting his best lap time. Flappy just set his best lap time, but it's a second slower than Blue. Where has this come from Blue?
I don't know.
He has put fresh tyres back on. You know, Flappy was quick and consistent, but Blue does have the better overall speed. We saw that in qualifying. That car that is able to run out front was the quickest, and I said that earlier, I think. Yeah, his game plan was to try and break away early. Yep, big black clouds are back. What's going to be 2 laps?
Well, it's 2 more laps of racing, but this is going to be very exciting towards the end. What is going to happen? Will we have a massive downpour on the final lap and a half, or what is going to happen? I've never been so uncertain in all my life of commentating these races on what might happen now, if we get
See,
some.
what's interesting here is if the rain happens before the end of this lap, Flappy will have to pit. Flappy has to do opposite of Blue to win this race. Because if he does the same as Blue, he can't win. And there's not enough time. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of... This is the time that Gadget and Flaves play. You would kind of do, of going too early to cover it off. I don't know if I'm explaining it very well, but at this point, Blue can't pit at this point because he doesn't have the gap. Oh, that looks a bit close. Yeah, this is...
Well, here's the thing. If it starts raining right after Blue now...
Oh,
very
Blue's
wide.
almost off.
Yeah. If it starts raining now right after Blue passes the finish line, it's gonna be hell to pay for him.
It has to rain hard and fast.
Yeah.
And it's not doing it. It's not doing it. But Flappy's not going in. He looked like he was going in, and he's made a mistake because of it.
He was thinking about it.
He was.
I wish we really could have access to the weather radar as commentators,
no,
but
we could see it.
I thought I heard some rain, but
No, there's no windscreen wipers going right now.
Buck is now just barely 19 seconds ahead of each boss. Fuel has gone to the red. Oh, and he has to just skip the first chicane after turn 1. Gets himself a half-second penalty. Yeah, I can see it in the lobby screen, but that is a sketchy, sketchy. Oh, we have H-Boss and Gadget into the pits.
Gadget's in. Gadget's probably going to do the same thing as last time. I think he'll roll the dice on rain. Senna is going to jump them both, I think. No, H-Boss is going to go out on Inters again. Gadget is going to get jumped. Not quite.
We got rain. We got rain. I can hear it. I can hear it.
There comes the rain. At one end of the circuit, but it's not quite at the end of the Mulsanne. Don't know. It's not raining everywhere yet, and it's stopped again. Wow, that was a big shower. This rain is rubbish.
Yeah.
It rains for 20 seconds and then goes away again. What is this?
Thor's having a tinkle. a tiny...
That was literally a dribble.
Yeah, maybe he's got a kidney stone or something.
Oh. Well, final lap coming up. Gadget's thrown away 6th with that pit stop. And going to Inters.
Yeah, Senna.
H-Bots isn't much further ahead of Senna. Here comes some rain again? For some of them? Oh, this is hard to tell. Is it raining or not? Make your mind up.
I don't know.
I can't work it out.
Well, this is all or nothing for Blue. He is going for it. He's going for it. Rain or no.
Oh, he nearly dropped it. He nearly dropped that. Oh, if he dropped that into the wall and got damaged when he just passed the pit lane.
Oh, that would have been... I can't believe how this race has gone so far. Like you said before, 4 or 5 times Blue has been off, and now he's going on to win the race.
Mm.
Oh, we got rain. We got rain again.
Bit more rain.
But will it be long enough?
I think Blue's just flapping his wing, his wiper
Oh, it's raining on the beginning of the track. It's raining on the Mulsanne.
It is raining on the Mulsanne, and it's raining hard.
Oh, this is going to be so dangerous.
Oh, Blue is backing off.
Oh.
Is Flappy going to back off, or is he going to keep it pinned? As he's driving straight through it, and he has not lifted off, but I guess Blue's got such a huge lead, he doesn't have to care. Flappy is giving it big guns. He is not lifting. He is not lifting. Blue is back to not lifting.
Well, it's just past the grip levels of the dry tires. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, will Blue be able to slow it down?
Blue slowed it down. Will Flappy, because Flappy's coming in at a much faster speed.
H-Boss has finished.
Oh, Blue is in trouble.
Is he?
He's spinning the tyres up in 7th gear.
Oh, it's almost past the Inter's point as well.
Is it raining harder or is it raining less hard?
I think it's stopped again.
Yeah, it has. Oh,
Come
I thought
on!
it was going to keep going. Come on, we want more.
Come
Just
on!
a bit more. Just get this down to like no
Give us
grip.
some more rain, please.
This is madness. Just
Oh.
a tiny bit more. Flappy's going to be kicking himself because he lost the race on this mistake. Who's that behind?
Ivano.
Oh, Ivano's on Inters. He's got the grip and Blue doesn't. Flappy's taken like more than 10 seconds out of him. Ivano's coming through. Oh! No, but Flappy hasn't got the downforce now. I think Blue's got this.
Yeah.
The rain needed to come a little bit earlier. All
Well,
Blue has to do is tickle it home now.
It has been a hell of a drive from Blue tonight. That we can't deny that. He has.
It's been a hell of a recovery.
Yeah.
It will look very much like it was an easy race because all he had to do was, you know, win. He got pole, win, and fastest lap. But yeah, that was a really tough race for everyone. Flappy could have won it, made that mistake, and that proved to be costly. And also the fact that Blue bailed onto the slicks a lap earlier.
Yeah.
I think Flappy will be kicking himself for that. He had that one, I think, well and truly in the bag. He drove, in my opinion, probably the better race up until that one mistake. But Blue put the laps in when he needed to. He got the clean air, he had the low fuel, and he had the faster car in that environment. So yeah, absolutely, he deserved the win.
Yeah, one hell of a race. One hell of a race from Blue, and everyone else. That just wow. Man, that went by so fast.
Yeah, that was pretty darn quick.
That was yeah, truly amazing. Oh wow. I can't believe this year is over with ADEC. ADEC is done for the year.
5th year.
5th year.
No, more than that.
Is it? 6?
6th, yeah. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. No, end of 5th year. Next year will be the 6th year. So, yeah, another year. Another double champion. And
When did ADEC start again, or track originally?
Drek started in 2019.
It started in 20. Oh, wow, wow.
Yeah.
So I've been here for almost all of it then. I
Pretty much.
joined summer of 2019, so
That you did. In the beautiful Mjolnir liveries, which are completely iconic.
yeah, which I've updated now to a newer look. Um, so I've stolen the livery design from GTA, and I'm happy with that.
Flappy didn't have enough front downforce. Blue had too much. Oh, man. Good race. That was a good race.
Absolutely.
Real mix-up. Yeah, I wouldn't have bet Blue winning that halfway through. Very didn't expect that, but
No,
he
that
kept
was
in it,
amazing. That was amazing.
and he made it work. And against all the odds, a 919 won at even Le Mans with no chicanes, proving once again why it needs to be outlawed.
Yeah. At least until they
Well,
can find a proper balance for them, which I think is going to take a few years or never.
I don't think it'll ever happen.
No, it's
They
going to
need to
be
go into Group
yeah,
L
yeah,
for Le Mans.
yeah.
Group P for prototype.
Oh, yeah. Well, you probably know Plux. For those of you that followed or saw the message on PSN, this is my last ADEC stream for a long while. Like I said, the announcement a few weeks back. Yeah, I am taking a break from Gran Turismo 7 now. I'm not going over to ACC or anything, at least not yet. But I feel like I need to take a break, try and reignite the fire, reignite the passion that isn't really there at the moment. The commentating is fun enough, but it's not enough to keep me here. I'm gonna finish off 2 more weeks of the Tuesday League, and I will be gone for a pre-planned 6-month break and see if that is enough for me to come back. But yeah, now I'm taking a break from it all. That's all it is. I'm not hating on GT7 or anything. I just want to reignite the fire, which isn't there at the moment, and yeah, it's gonna be weird.
It will be weird not having you race for a bit, buddy, and
Yeah,
not have you streaming. But
yeah.
you've been a credit to the community streaming all this time. It's been fantastic to have that opportunity to watch the streams. And like I say, we will miss you a lot from having those. But I'm sure you'll be back soon enough, and I'm sure at some point I'll convince you to have another go at ACC. But like I say, take some time.
As soon as I get my stupid rig set up, I have had such a bad half year with a bad back. It's just been killing me, and I haven't really had enough help to get it set up or anything just yet. But the plan is by summer next year, I'll have it set up and I'll try and get back to racing. I mean, I have a new expensive wheel and pedals and all that, but I haven't been able to use it all that much because my chair has been pushed back when I press the brake pedal for what's those pedals
Load
called?
cell.
Huh? Yeah, load cell.
Load cell?
Yeah. So I have to push with a force that just pushes my office chair back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you can you set the force level required?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I can't push the brake pedal down enough, and I put the softest springs in too. I need a stable platform.
Yeah. Because I know
So
with mine I can dial how as well as the springs I can also dial the
mm,
force required.
mm,
So like I say, it does sound like it's being a bit of a tricksy thing. But yes,
yeah.
rigs are a requirement for stable platforms. And yeah, I'm sure you'll get it sorted soon. And as always, come down to the fish hut if you need any assistance, because I don't think anyone's ever actually learnt why it's called the fish hut. And the bad thing is I can't even remember what the acronym stands for. But I know somewhere in it says Plux, somewhere it says Sim Hardware, but I can't remember. Um, what the other H and the I stand for, which is a little bit embarrassing because I did, come up with the idea and was like, let's call it this, it'll be funny, and now I've forgotten the joke 3 years later.
Hmm.
Um, but there will always be someone there with some advice,
Yeah.
and some suggestions for rigs. I know, obviously, I've got the Playseat Challenge. There's some people with, the newer Playseat Trophy. There's also the next level racing, not next level racing, next level
I think it's the next level one
stands.
I
Yeah,
got, but I've just haven't been able. It's 40, almost 50 kilos,
yeah.
and I think I threw my back out a little bit in the summer, so I just haven't. Uh,
Well,
so
once that's kind of healed up a bit
yeah,
and all that, I'm sure you can find a way to get it all working. But yeah,
yeah, yeah.
no, absolutely.
So I'll figure
Give it
out a
some
way.
time.
Absolutely. FGT and FGT Lite. Yeah, I think it's the FGT I got, Dennis. I don't really remember in the heat of the moment. So, yeah. Well, that is it for the ADEC stream. I don't know if Gadget has managed to find a replacement yet. I know he's put some feelers out there, but I've heard rumors that a commentary man might make a return to driver's room, but that is unconfirmed. I think you know who I mean, Plux.
I don't know.
You know,
If it's the one I think it is, you may have to pay him.
yeah. So,
Which may be a little bit outside the budget.
yeah.
Um, but no, whoever picks it up will be great.
Yeah.
But like I say, your time as the man in charge has been iconic. Um, you know, Getting onto that similar level of voiciness as a certain other, um, you know, legend of the drivers' room commentary team. So it's been fabulous having you, and like I say, we will miss you in your leave of absence of
Mm.
commentary and
Mm.
obviously racing too.
Yeah, I hope people will miss my funny commentary work. I will admit I don't know too much about all of it. The tenths of seconds and all that. I just put my own twist to it, try and make a comedy out of it, make fun of myself. I really wish our good friend Grim, the original voice, would come back and grace us with his presence of twatting the wall and all that. Uh, so yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed my work so far, and it's been a pleasure to be able to do it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be back. This is not a goodbye. This is just I'll see you later, and I will return. I'm not leaving Discord or anything. I'm just taking a break from the game itself in 2 weeks' time, and I am actually removing it to a external drive, so I won't be able to play it, but I don't have to re-download the entire thing when when I do return. So
That's fair enough.
yeah,
Well, like I say, it's been a pleasure to join you on your final stream for now. And
thank you.
what a fabulous race to have as your finale, and what a fabulous race to have as a season finale for ADEC.
Hmm.
ADEC will be picking up again in the new year. They will have 2 tiers as the interest is there, and it's great to see the league expanding once again.
Hmm.
We'll have an open championship slot as Blue is not going to be defending his title, so it's all up for grabs again. Will Flappy get himself a second ring, or anyone else make that step up to the championship? And of course, we'll have finally once again have a tier 2 championship to be racing for. So all of that starts back in January, I think midway through January. But there's still slots open if you did want to join up, get your 4 cars into Gadget. I think you have to get them in, get your interest in by the 16th of December, but your car selection not till in January itself. So plenty of time to make your decisions. And like I say, if you're interested to join in, then get your interest over to Gadget. He is going to be away over the next few weeks, but I'm sure he'll collect all of the results once he gets back.
Hmm. Absolutely, the ADEC series is one of the best series I've driven in, and you do learn a lot from this series. So anyone new watching this, definitely um, hit us out and contact us, and we can get you involved. So
Yep.
absolutely. So with that said, thank you, Plux, for joining me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure having you back in the comms box. I wish I could have you back in a few more races, but it's been full all season. The lobby has been 15 racers all season, and this is the first time I've been able to have a guest commentator for the finale. So
Yeah, well, like I say, my schedule is usually busy on a Thursday as well, so
hmm.
I haven't been able to, as Dennis alluded to in the stream comments. I should have been racing at COTA tonight
Hmm.
in ACC for TSRC, but some other commitments I've had during the week meant that I haven't had any time to practice. So I didn't feel comfortable going out there at COTA, being that it is a particularly difficult track. So I will be back racing again on Thursday. In the TSRC series, we'll be at Donington, and then our final race of the year is at what's it called, Valencia, in 2 weeks' time. And
Cool.
that's pretty much me done till Christmas, which is nice.
Very cool. Well, thank you, and thank everyone for watching, and hope you all enjoyed. And I will return sometime in the new year, but not at the start of it. So yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Plux, and have a nice evening. So
Yeah.
that is it. I'm closing the stream. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye bye all.